It is the fifth most valuable company in the world. Each minute, the company brings in more than $250,000. Its income in 2016 was more than $136 billion. And you know what? The best part is the company is only 23 years old. This is to say, according to our demographics here at VisualPolitik, Amazon is probably younger than you. There was a time in history when the most powerful nations looked to build huge empires. The British, the Spanish, the Romans, the Mongols. Today, things are rather different though. It seems that the great nations of years past are being substituted by new, massive technology corporations. As an example of this, we have the Amazon empire. Oh, and it is not just a figure of speech. Let's imagine that you wanted to buy Amazon, which is now the unquestionable leader of e-commerce. Have you got any idea how much you would have to pay for this company? Come on, just try and guess at a number.
Welcome to The Price is Right.
Well, the actual figure is $420 billion as of the recording of this video. That's nearly $500 billion, which is a truly incredible figure. This is because Amazon's stock has tripled since 2015, which has made Amazon the unquestionable star of the market. And this is not just a matter of numbers, it's also a matter of reality. I mean, who hasn't heard of Amazon? Amazon is, dear viewer, the biggest e-commerce company in the world, but oh, there is so much more. Did you know that it's also the world's leader in web services? And there's still more than that. 24-hour delivery, ebooks, tablets, cloud services, and even trucks, planes, and ships. Right now, while you're watching this video, Amazon is working out how to reduce their dependence on big logistics companies, notably with the company deciding to move into the shipping industry. And a great deal of the company's success can be put down to its delivery time, with some deliveries today even happening on the same day as the order. While almost everything Amazon does is in the online world, this is starting to change.
The leaders of the company, especially the president and main shareholder Jeff Bezos, want to occupy the entire market, and they have realized that still more than 90% of all purchases are made in traditional brick-and-mortar shops.
So in order to tap into this potential, the company leaders have set the goal of revolutionizing commerce. Not just e-commerce, but physical commerce. And, well, this has already started.
Amazon already has several bookstores available in the United States, and they're even about to open Amazon Go to the public, the first supermarket without cashiers and queuing.
Surprised? Well, you should be, because what Amazon is looking to do is dominate this market as well, and, well, as Amazon is apt to do, they will keep on trying until they succeed. Up until now, most offline companies, both big, medium, and small, have suffered because of online competition. So imagine what could happen if Amazon brings its competition to the physical market. And that's not all. Think of the consequences that can arise from the automation of jobs in this area, which is, by the way, one of the areas which employs the most people. Alright, so it's still too soon to have immediate concerns, but if you own a store or you work in one, maybe it's time to consider what's going to happen over the coming years.
The Amazon effect.
One of the recurring messages during Donald Trump's presidential campaign was that competition with countries like China or Mexico was making American industry disappear. That is why, in order to protect and recover all of those jobs, Trump seeks to put barriers against foreign trade, specifically targeting imports. The problem here, folks, as we have already seen in previous VisualPolitik videos, is that this doesn't really work. Now, it is true that 7 million jobs have been lost in American industry in the last decade, but it isn't because factories have disappeared. Not at all. In fact, industrial production in the US is almost higher than it's ever been. The reason, dear viewer, that so many jobs have been lost is not because of the closing of factories, but because of the new industrial reality. Factories need less workers due to automated systems like robots. Alright, so now you might be wondering, Simon, why are you telling us all of this? Isn't this a video about Amazon, and here we are hearing about Donald Trump? Well, yes it is, and here's why it's relevant. Between the impact of e-commerce, which is growing more and more popular, plus the scenario of Amazon developing their automated supermarkets, it's easy to imagine how many companies companies will go bankrupt and the quantity of jobs that will be lost in this sector alone. But you know what? This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Oh, I mean, it will be if we don't find a way to adapt, but if we do, there are marked benefits. As an example, today there are more than 100,000 companies working with Amazon who earn more than $100,000 per year. Not bad, right? Now, as always, the majority of people and businesses are behind the times. We are simply not ready and prepared for the changes that are coming, and without being ready and prepared, it will be almost impossible to adapt in time. But all of that said, let's take our focus back to Amazon and to a much more interesting subject, and that subject is money.
A gold mine?
I know what you're thinking. If Amazon is so successful and it's worth more than $400 billion, it's got to be a gold mine, right? An incredible money-making machine. Well, not exactly, at least for the time being. It is true their results are improving every year, and 2016, well, it was no exception.
Amazon has submitted record results. The company has a surplus of $2,371 million.
That is a lot of money, isn't it? But the problem is that if we were to buy Amazon for that $400 billion and the company kept returning that amount of money every year, well, it would take us almost 180 years to recoup our investment. So considering this, it doesn't actually sound like that great of an investment. But in order to know if a company makes money or not, like real money, I like to try something. It's a test, and that test is to look at the amount of money that is really coming and going in the company. Well, in the last 5 years, Amazon has brought in a surplus of more than $15.5 billion. The numbers get better, but it's still relatively low compared to the purchase price of the company. So now you might be wondering, what exactly is going on here? Why is Amazon worth quite so much? Well, you see, Jeff Bezos, the president of Amazon, has a strategy. Invest all he can to reach new markets and improve the company's service. Consider this. In 2016, Amazon launched Prime Video to compete with Netflix and HBO. Well, this year, Amazon is going to spend $4 billion on films and TV series. Another example is the so-called Project Everest. In the next years, Amazon is going to invest billions of dollars in order to become the market leader in India. In fact, it is said that the company is trying to open hundreds of shops in this country. So these are the reasons why the company is worth so much.
Investors expect their business to take off in the next few years. Following this, Morgan Stanley and Credit Suisse, two powerful investment banks, expect Amazon to be the main character of the largest expansion in the history of business.
But how much are we really talking about here? Well, estimates are that in a few years, the income of Amazon will exceed $500 billion, more than 4 times that of 2016. And well, banks understand that, and that means money is going to continue flowing through Amazon's veins.
A new empire?
So does that mean that Amazon is going to conquer the world, so to say? Now we have to admit that Amazon's success has been pretty overwhelming, and their company couldn't really be doing much better. However, it's also important to remember that competition is everywhere. IBM, Microsoft, Apple, Walmart, Alibaba, these vast companies are not going to merely be spectators here. And let's consider the final company we mentioned there, Alibaba, the queen of Chinese e-commerce.
In China, Amazon has experienced a massive disappointment. Despite investing a great deal of money, Amazon's market share is less than 1%. And wait for more, because the Chinese companies are going to be the talk of the town.
For all these reasons, dear viewer, some think that Amazon will become the super company of the 21st century and build up to an empire. But on the contrary, others think that it's a fantastic company, but its worth and expectations are a bit of a bubble-based exaggeration. For now, though, we can say for sure that there is one clear winner.
Jeff Bezos is now the world's second richest person. Bezos has a net worth of $75.6 billion.
But one thing is for sure, there is still a huge battle to be fought in this relatively new land, known as the internet. So that's our opinion here at VisualPolitik, and now we would love to know what you think. Do you think Amazon will achieve its goal of taking over, well, pretty much everything? Will it start making massive amounts of money, or will the competition stop it? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, do leave a like if you like this video, and do not forget to subscribe for brand new videos every Monday and every Thursday. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.
And if you want to learn more about politics and hear even more of my lovely voice, you can join us at Reconsider Media. We have a podcast at reconsidermedia.com/podcast. See you there.